opioids that change the brain. Meth, those kinds of drugs change your brain. And he wasn't himself after starting using those drugs, and they just kept calling out.
I was doing drugs every day. There was never a day that went by that I wasn't doing that for a long, long time. Everything becomes about the drug. Everything becomes about living in the lifestyle of dealing drugs and being around drugs and people doing drugs and all of that sort of thing. So all of that became a reality for me. I started overdosing. Started having people around me overdosing a lot. Started being in places and with people that I guess I would say I never thought I would cross the line. But as most people know, and addicts for sure know, that no matter where the line is, there's always another one. And no matter where you think the bottom is, it can always be lower.
It was dark, you know, I was angry, I was depressed, I was having anxiety all day long, paranoia, you lose everything. You lose your friends, you lose your jobs, you know, you lose your money to pay your bills. I was late on my bills, and it was just a cycle of dark, you know, places. I was always just very down in the dumps, and it was almost like it's a helpless feeling, because the drugs, they trick you. You know, when you have them, you feel great, and then when you don't, it's just this empty loss, and you do anything to try to get it back.
Phoenix takes state funds and federal funds and puts that towards treatment of people. Now, we also have people who pay for their own treatment, and if you have the funds for it, you should. But we look at it in a different way, and so it's not a treatment facility where you've got to have your own funds to get it done. Now, that creates a waiting list because, like I say, most people are out of money before they run out of their addiction issues. That idea, that philosophy is what I really liked about Phoenix.
We have an on-site clinic that provides mental stability, some minimal physical help, like with medications and stuff, but you know, they can get any tests that they need to have. They can get back on medication they might not be able to afford on their own, or get started on new medication. We do diagnoses on site. so they can get a diagnosis if, you know, they might need medication for something they were unaware of. If we can't handle it at our clinic, we send them to outside sources, to local hospitals and doctors.
My name is Greg Carbons, and I'm a counselor here, actually the family counselor here at Phoenix Programs. I've been employed with Phoenix Programs for about 18 and a half years now, and working with families is my passion. I discovered that about 2 years in when I was hired as a counselor, and we would do Family Day, and I just saw the need for an advocate for family members who were, you know, had questions and just didn't know what to do with their loved one who was going through treatment, and they didn't understand what addiction was, and I just kind of felt deep down that was kind of my niche, and I wanted to build a program to support that need in the community. So I've created a couple of education groups and a couple of support groups, sort of group therapy sessions for family members, just so that they feel like Phoenix Programs is here for them as well.
I will name drop Ron because he was such a good impact for me. You know, we would talk and I would ask him questions, and you know, he never BS'd me. He always just said what it is, and he didn't talk like in a 12-step group way or a counselor way. He was just real person.
My early recovery consisted of going to meetings and really doing aftercare with that treatment facility. Those aftercare things are really important. I had a counselor one time that drilled into me that who you hang out with says as much about you as it does about them. That really is what saved my life, was being able to go to treatment, come out of treatment, and have that support from the treatment center available to me, and then them teaching me how to go to meetings no matter what, that I wasn't going to have anything if I didn't stay in recovery. So I was going to lose it all again anyway. So they really taught me that core piece of how to do that.
I enjoy life these days. I've got a steady job, a paycheck, you know, whereas before it was hard to keep a job. It feels good to get up clear-headed every day, not having to worry about what I did last night. Recovery is healthy for me. You know, I eat better, I sleep better, I enjoy the outdoors again, whereas I used to be secluded in my addiction inside, didn't want to go out. Now I want to get out and enjoy the fresh air and hang out at the park with my dogs and my daughter. And I play a lot of golf. I'm an avid golfer, so it feels great to be sober.
At Phoenix, I think we really strive on helping people find out who they really are, their individuality, and then how do I encompass that into my family unit, and how do I bring that to society as a whole? Because it's easy to be successful when you're in treatment. I mean, there's minimal rules. You have people telling you, you know, what to do and how to do it. But you have to learn to be independent and then go out and be a success in society as a whole.
I feel like everybody has talents, benefits, something they can give. I'm involved with the Boy Scouts and some other civic organizations, and even if you can't donate money, maybe you have time to go on a camp out with some kids or teach them some cooking skills, fire building skills, swimming. There's a lot of relationships that need to be kept, and sometimes I feel like this world is kind of drifting apart from relationships. They talk about the decline of church membership, of civic organization memberships, et cetera, and even the families as we drift apart and make other friends, but we kind of lose some of that stability, some of the anchors in our lives. And if you can have a productive, worthwhile, beneficial relationship with some child or even an adult who needs help, it really has a huge benefit to our entire society.
We need support. We need community support. This is all of our problem. It's everybody's problem. And that's, hear me loud and clear, it's a community, everybody's problem. And so we need to have everybody's solution. And the only way to address that is funds that buy resources and counselors and whatever. So the funding absolutely is so very critical. And again, the public needs to be educated that we're not an institution. We're not self-funding. We need support, and we need it badly.